What's up, market operators? Live from California. It is just a video log. I'm going to talk about the markets, show you all my account information, and we're going to do this actually during market hours, which is very rare. So the screen is going to be super white, super bright, and don't get thrown off about it. I don't do any edits, so if you're into edits and shortcuts, like, I don't know, let's tell you take a drink, maybe you'll survive this. But if you're not interested in other people's accounts, then or my thoughts about the markets and when I think it's going to be bottoming, I have a prediction. I'll share that with you in a little bit. I'm sitting at 152.229. I was close to 153 at one point. I was over 153. Now the market's come down a little bit. So yesterday I was actually sitting at 147 or something. It was really low on Friday night. The 1 week performance is also looking, it's looking pretty bleak even with today's rally. So I will go through all these numbers. I'll show you all the charts. A 1 month performance, absolutely horrendous. It was actually over 20%. Now it's like 19.58. I'll show you all of the charts, everything. I'll talk about the markets a little bit. Tesla, Apple. So year to date, this is getting ugly. 18.7. 1 year chart though was looking all right. 0.61. The all-time chart, which is the one that everybody wants to see for some odd reason. When I click it, I always have to disclaim I started investing in August 28th, 2018. So this would be somewhere around here. And I have to say that because that's why the chart is so flat beforehand. Because there was no money in it. All right. There was barely any money in it. So this is when I kind of started taking the account a little bit seriously. I'm up 110% on all time, which is pretty cool considering the market's like in the last 5 years. I did this in 4 years. The market, on the other hand, over the 5 years has been doing 46%. So doing a bit better than the markets overall. But I had definitely been losing in the last month or two or three. So 1 year chart in the market, 15. That's the S&P 500, which is an exchange traded fund that follows the S&P 500 index, comprised of US-based, profitable, or at some point have been profitable, 500 companies, top 500 companies by market cap, which means the largest 500 companies. So the index is rallying quite a bit. It's 2.78. I think the NASDAQ was around 3% as well, and the Dow. So all three indexes are up today. Actually, we can go over here and look at the Finviz heat map. Okay, so you'll see that everything's green for the most part. Everything for the most part. Okay, almost everything's green. You see the big red dot here, which is Tesla, coming off 7.16%. And the reason why Tesla is off is because they're running into some, I guess, logistical supply chain issues, and they're not going to be able to get enough cars in time out in customers' hands. So, they're dealing with some issues in the markets, recognizing that. I don't know. I'm actually not too sold about the whole supply issue stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are supply issues and definitely, but I think there's something to be said about the demand here as well. Like, if the demand for Tesla was just infinite and was just as strong, for some reason, like, I tend to think that it's more of demand side issues than supply chain issues. I may be wrong here, maybe just speaking out of my ass, but I can't see every single company in the world suffering from demand side issues, and then all of a sudden Tesla comes out with the only company in the world that's having only supply side issues, no demand issues at all. So I don't really buy that. But regardless, you can see that it's taken a hit today. 7% is quite a bit on such a green day for everybody else. You can see Apple over 3.46%, Microsoft 3.67%, Google almost 4%, Nvidia over 4%, Amazon over 3%. Every sector really, biotech's mixed obviously, but even biotech is up overall. Some of the biggest players are up. So financials, you name it. It's just a big green day overall. I'm guessing, I haven't looked at the dollar yet, but I'm guessing it's because the dollar dropped. So that's probably it. Everything else goes that is priced in dollars goes up if the dollar drops. So, all right, back into the account here so I can show you all the positions. Oh, I'm dropping fast now. This is live. There's another $300 off the account. Now I'm in the 151s. So here on the right, you'll see all the options positions. I'm going to scroll through them quickly. And you can pause the video player at any moment to try to figure out the exact position. All the information you need is in this little box here. So you can see the date, ticker symbol, everything. So these are my option plays, and these are my equities here. Apple is up 3K for me, over 3%, as we talked about. Realty Income, Main Street Capital, Paramount, all in the green. The only laggard here is the Smith & Wesson, which I have 8,000 shares in, excuse me. And that's all right. Sometimes it travels reverse of the markets. It's not too unusual for Smith & Wesson to do that. I have a dividend coming in from Paramount, which is going to be nice, about $288. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Pay down some debt. I should, because I have a lot of margin taken out. Smith & Wesson is also going to be giving me a dividend. You can see this here, 802. And I'm probably going to keep it because I have a lot of margin taken out. Here's the account investing tab. And this is it, $109,000 borrowed from Robinhood. And 50% is complete maximum margin. I'm at 41.78, so I'm 83.58% levered. Quick maths. These are the equity positions based on total return. Apple, Realty Income, Main Street Capital, Paramount, Smith & Wesson. Based on equity, Apple's number one, and then Smith & Wesson at not too close second, actually, at 81,760. Only 20,000 off. The Main Street Capital at 30K. 31, Paramount Global 23,000, Realty Income 23,000. So I have some predictions. Okay. By the way, let's take a look at the Tesla markets here. So it's down today 8%, which is the same decrease for over the past year on year. 3 months is actually still up. 1 month is down 9%. 1 week down 14. So definitely cracking under some pressure here. 5-year chart is, of course, still pretty humongous. Apple and Tesla were the last. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even show you the charts. You're just looking at my face. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's the 1-year chart, minus 8%, plus 9 on the month, on the 3 month, minus 9 on the 1 month. Bad week, minus 14.36%, and then 1 day, 8.27. I know, no edits. Sorry about that. So here's the 5-year chart. You can see it's still pretty monstrous. So Apple and Tesla were the last two companies, that needed to fall, and it shows like they're cracking. It shows like there's cracks in their armor that are being exploited by the market participants. And I had an estimation, okay, which I'm gonna stick to and share with you now. I'm thinking this. I've been looking at some inflation data, okay, and it seems like inflation kind of like peaks very often in October, and not only that, but as we reach the next year, as the inflation prints come in higher from 2000 and late 2021, early 2022, then they're going to be compared to the inflation print this year. And so now we're going to be coming off of a higher base. So these inflation numbers, I think, are not going to look like, 9%, 10%. They're going to start coming off pretty dramatically. Okay, I'm thinking like by whole percentage points or 2 percentage points per month. But we still have to get over the hurdle of October. So even if inflation month over month has been dropping, it's still going to show pretty high in October, I think. I forgot what the base is from last year in October, but either way, I'm expecting a high print. And when we see that high print, that's going to be the maximum like capitulation sell-off, because everything's like, okay, inflation's here forever. The Federal Reserve has hiked rates and it hasn't done anything to the market whatsoever. And inflation is just unbeatable, and it's going to be max peak bearishness. People are just going to, throw everything, forget their account, throw away their account passwords, write them off, and then just going to go back to work. Okay. So I think that's going to be just like the peak, the apathy phase of the bear market. And on October 13th, I think is when the inflation data is being reported. So either 13, 14, let me see the dates here. So October, it's a Thursday. So either that Thursday or the Friday after, it's going to be the bottom, I think. So at that point, like if I have some extra cash, I might buy some SLV call options. I haven't been in the metals game in quite some time, because ever since the lows in 2020, it's been a little high priced. And traditionally, over the last 15 years, I know I've only been on camera for like 4 years, but I've been investing for about 15. And traditionally, I have been making a lot of money from the mining sector. So usually at extreme bottoms, the mining sector rebounds quite quickly. Especially the silver, like the metals, and silver especially is most sensitive to that because of its high economic component. I think like 70 plus or maybe 80% plus now of silver is actually used for industry, and it's a very economically sensitive metal, unlike, let's say, gold. So gold you can hold at any time, but silver not so much. It's a bit more tricky. Even though silver tends to kind of trend sideways to down over the long term, it still plays a really major role, I think, on the upswing from market bottoms, not necessarily economic bottoms. Now, I also want to make a distinction between recession and a market bottom. So I think the recession will go through for probably another couple months, but I think the market will find a bottom in October 13th or 14th. Now, I'm really curious if I'm right about this. If I am, I'm not going to actually make much money because I'm so fully levered right now that I don't have any money to put to work at that date. But if I do have a few extra $100, I'm probably going to buy SOV calls. Now, by the way, this is not a recommendation to anything else. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. None of this is financial advice, blah, blah, blah. Consult your professional financial advisor if you're confused about anything, or even if you're not. Okay, not financial advice. All right, so that's going to be it for today. Hopefully I'll make another video tomorrow. By the way, I noticed that my previous video has gotten just like a ton of views for some odd reason. I think it's because I put the word porn in there. But so sorry about that. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome. What I do is I take 30,000. Well, obviously I've added a few more thousand over the years, but I haven't actually added anything in the last year or so. I take 30,000. I want to try to make it into 1 million, which is going to be a very, very heavy, difficult task because only a small percentage of people beat the market over, like a 10-year period. I think it's like 2% or something like that. It's a really small number. So I'm hoping to be one of those 2%. It's a bit of a tall task. Some might say it's a naive goal, but I think I have what it takes. So far, I've been losing to the market in the last month, but winning year over year in all time. So I haven't lost, the determination and the desire to beat the market. So let me know how your accounts are doing. Oh, by the way, also, I didn't do any this weekend, but I like to do little company reviews. They're like little shallow dives on companies of interest. So look for those sometimes during the weekends. Didn't do any this weekend, but we'll probably do one next weekend. So anyway, look for that. Let me know how your accounts are doing and if or not you're having a good rebound day today, or you caught short with your shorts on a bull day. All right, peace out.